Welcome back. He was known as the Prince of Darkness, but to millions of fans, Ozzy Osbourne was pure light. Around the world and right here in the Valley, fans are paying tribute to the heavy metal legend who defied expectations, survived the unthinkable, and left a permanent mark on music's history. At record shops, rock bars, and tattoo parlors, Ozzy's image is always front and center, and fans are sharing stories about first concerts, favorite lyrics, and the music that got them through some of their darkest times. And at every tribute show or vigil, you can hear it, that signature voice, that raw emotion, the sound of a generation that never died.
For Ozzy.
During their Song Is Over farewell tour stop in Milan, The Who paid tribute to Ozzy, as you just heard. The band honored the Prince of Darkness with a special dedication, remembering his impact on rock history and his unforgettable place in music. The moment drew emotional reaction from fans as two icons of rock came together one last time. And Ozzy may have left the stage, but his spirit certainly still rocks on. Tonight, we're joined by someone who knew that world firsthand, Max Cavalera, frontman of Phoenix-based band Soulfly, sharing the stage with Ozzy at multiple Ozfests. Yes, with his beautiful wife, Gloria, along the way. Troy, they've certainly got some stories, perspective, and a whole lot of respect for the late performer.
And Gloria is the manager of the band, too. Is this the only band you manage, or do you have more?
All of his bands.
Okay, good. All right, so you guys were both plugged in, and you knew the Osbournes fairly well. So obviously Sharon is still with us. Tell us, what kind of a guy was Ozzy?
Well, I first met him in around '96 with my old band, and at that time he didn't come out that much, you know, and we were also like, because we're such fans, right?
Bad, huh?
We're all scared of him, you know. But then after I broke up with my old band, I started my new band. That was at the same time that our son was killed here in Arizona.
I hear that.
And that's the story that I want her to tell, because it's a really cool story. They invited to their house, and we started hanging out more with them. When we did the Ozfest, our kids played together. They went to their house. But yeah, like I said, I think the image of the wild guy and all that, you know, the times I spent with him, I just thought he was really funny, man.
Kind of a normal, would you call him a normal guy, or is that a stretch?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. You know, like, cause you know, like we mostly hang out in backstage and things like that. And there was one time where we were in Sweden, and he asked me, "Where are we?" 'Cause he had no idea where he was. And I just love that about him. I was like, this is so cool. This guy's, he's so rock and roll. He just goes. He doesn't even know what country.
Just show me where the stage is.
That's
Let's
it.
make it happen.
Yeah.
How about your thoughts about Ozzy, obviously?
Well, I knew him as a little bit different. Of course, I've always been a fan. I bought the first Paranoid album in 1970.
Right.
But his heart was like the most amazing thing about him and Sharon. They do so much charity work. Like when my son was killed, right away, like, she called me, and she got a private plane that picked up our family, because we were doing a show with Ozzy in Donington in the UK. And so she sent a plane to pick us up and got us all the way home, and then just constantly called us, and Ozzy would call all the time, check and see how we were, put our kids on a plane and send them to their house.
Wow.
Like, just did everything, invited us for Christmas, and like, people just don't do that. And most people, like, if they do something like that, they have to have like cameras with them, and look what I did
Big
this.
deal
But
about it.
they do stuff all the time for people. Like, they're just super, just compassionate. Like, you don't have to ask them to help you. They just know right when somebody needs something. You know, it was a really dark time. My children lost their brother, and I lost my son, and Max was having, you know, the difficulties with the band that he was in, and so they just really just put their wings around us, you know. It's like, it's so unusual, I think, for big stars who are legends to be like that, you know.
Right.
Really,
and to think about somebody else besides themselves, right? Because there's so many yes people around them. You know, Ozzy was a huge part of my young adulthood. I went to several shows from the mid-'80s to kind of like the early '90s, and he was such a performer, right? He wanted that whole stadium to get behind him, or wherever he was performing. What do you think his legacy is?
I asked him once about the scratch, because I seen he's always scratching, you know? So I asked him, like, what's up with the scratches, you know? And he goes, when he scratch, he really feels it. You get the goosebumps,
wow.
you know? And I was like, wow, that's cool. I don't know anybody that does that, you
No,
know?
it felt like to me like he always wanted the crowd to be as into it as he was. And that tells you something, because a lot of people just get up there and they mail it in.
It's true.
And you probably never saw that from him.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, one story, we went to his house before at Christmas. He took all the kids, had all these presents for them. Sharon did, and it was just like, you know, they had this big castle in the UK, and we were all like freaked out driving up to it.
Right.
You know.
And they told all their stories. It was so funny. Like, we
Yeah.
had a private session with Sharon and Ozzy telling all their mad stories. When she took all his clothes out when he wanted to drink, and he just left one dress, her dress. It's like, if you want to go to the bar, you got to wear that. And he did. And he did. And I think, like, all that, like, that's like the memories I have more of that. To me, that's more Ozzy and Sharon, the family, that the memory I have of them is more like that, you know. He also smelled really good. So
He also smelled good?
Yeah, so I asked him, like, what cologne do you use? Because it's amazing.
Yeah.
And he told me, so.
You don't want to share? You
I-
get
yeah.
a tip for all the guys out there?
Number 88.
All right,
So
number 88.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving us kind of a look behind the curtain there of Ozzy Osbourne. Thanks for coming in. Good luck with your tour. I know you're heading out on tour. Tell us your band and where you're going to be.
SoFly, we're going to be at, SoFly is going on tour probably next year. My next show here in Phoenix will be at the Marquee.
I love the Marquee.
Yeah.
October 11th.
Yeah.
I love it
Great.
there.
It's a band called Cavalera.
Love it. Okay, we'll have to check that out.
Cool.
All right, thanks for coming in. Good talking with both of you.
Appreciate it.
Rachel.
All right, October 11th at
At the Marquee. It's a great
Oh,
venue. I love that place.
Amazing, intimate venue.
is.
You
It's
guys,
true.
thank you, Max and Gloria. And you know, Ozzy, he lived fast and he almost died young. And for years, his name was synonymous with chaos, addiction, and self-destruction, he admitted. But what many fans find most inspiring isn't the legend he became on stage. It's the battle he fought off of it. He had been open about his struggles with drugs and alcohol, admitting he once thought he wouldn't survive his own lifestyle. And today, his honesty is still giving others hope. From rehab to relapse to redemption, Ozzy's story reminds us that recovery is, of course, possible no matter how dark things can get. So if you or someone you love is fighting addiction, there is help out there. You can call the Arizona Substance Abuse Hotline at the number right there on your screen, or just dial 211. That way you'll be connected to experts who can give you some help confidentially 24/7.